green grass, this is green money. $1,000 sign-on bonus, Blue Cross Blue Shield. 401k, we match it up to 4%. Get you home regular, good equipment. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we do what we say. Come join the best today. At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we keep it nice and clean. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you.
You're welcome.
Nice and clean.
Nice and shiny.
Are you an experienced driver looking for a good truck driving job? Then try Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. We're looking for team drivers. We're looking for single drivers. At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we have it for you. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Blue Cross Blue Shield, 401k, drive for the best. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we know one thing, drivers first. You're not just a number, we know your name. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, family owned, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Come drive for the best today. We got Blue Cross Blue Shield. Hey, we can get you home. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, been rolling these wheels since 1959. Money, 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 just rolling these wheels. If these wheels roll, you make money. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we put God and family first. Bo, tell them. Hey, what are you doing?
I'm working underneath this truck.
Oh man, can you work on diesel trucks?
No, I can't.
Do you know that Wiley Sanders will train you to work on diesel trucks?
Really?
In a shop.
In a shop?
A shop. My man, you made it.
Yes, sir, I did.
You came to Wiley Sanders to a shop. How you like teaching this young man?
I enjoy helping these guys be successful.
So if they can work on a little truck, you can teach them how to work on a big truck.
Yes, sir, we sure can.
Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Line where we'll teach you how to work on a big truck. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, where we put God and family first. We go to Illinois,
Indiana, North Carolina, South Carolina,
Ohio, Arkansas.
We're looking for good in-dump drivers. That's right, Wiley Sanders Truck Line. 401k, Blue Cross Blue Shield, dental plan. Hey, these wheels roll, you make money. You're not driving one of them, you're driving at the wrong place. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Fellas, where we go?
Indiana, North Carolina, and South Carolina.
Ohio and Arkansas.
Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, we put God and family first. Are you looking for a good company? A company that can get you home and you make good money? Then you need to call Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Blue Cross Blue Shield, hey, you know we still had a $1,000 sign-on bonus. We match your 401k up to 4%. We've been in business since 1959. We've been rolling these wheels with money, money, money since 1959. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Tell them, Bo. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, the place that puts God and family first. How long you been driving for Wiley Sanders?
7 years.
How long you been driving for Wiley?
6 years.
How many miles you get away?
2,500.
Wow, how many miles you get away?
2,700.
Are you in the 401k?
Yes, sir.
Matching at 4%.
Yes.
Wow, Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Are y'all happy?
Oh, very happy.
Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Welcome to Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, state-of-the-art bunkhouse. Let me show you. Do you like it cold? Then set it cold. Got the spouse with you? We've got you covered. Sit back in the state-of-the-art bunkhouse and watch your favorite TV show. Relax, have a good time. After a long day, you can come in the state-of-the-art bunkhouse and get a great hot shower. Look how nice they are. At Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, we keep it clean for you. Drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. At Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, we put God and family first. We've been in business since 1959. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Blue Cross Blue Shield, 401k. Woo! We got the trucks. Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Tell them, boy. Some companies may tell you that the grass is greener. At Wiley Sanders, we know the grass is greener. Been in business since 1959. That's not green. It's not green. Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Now, this is green grass. This is green money. $1,000 sign-on bonus. Blue Cross Blue Shield. 401k, we match it up to 4%. Get you home regular, good equipment. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we do what we say. Come join the best today. At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we keep it nice and clean. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you.
You're welcome.
Nice and clean.
Nice and shiny.
Are you an experienced driver looking for a good truck driving job? Then try Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. We're looking for team drivers. We're looking for single drivers. At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we have it for you. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Blue Cross Blue Shield, 401k, drive for the best. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we know one thing, drivers first. You're not just a number. We know your name. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, family owned. Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Come drive for the best today. We got Blue Cross Blue Shield. Hey, we can get you home. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Been rolling these wheels since 1959. Money, money, money. Just rolling these wheels. If these wheels roll, you make money. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we put God and family first. Bo, tell them. Hey, what are you doing?
I'm working underneath this truck.
Oh man, can you work on diesel trucks?
No, I can't.
Do you know that Wiley Sanders will train you to work on diesel trucks?
Really?
In a shop.
In a shop?
A shop. My man, you made it.
Yes, sir, I did.
You came to Wiley Sanders to a shop. How you like teaching this young man?
I enjoy helping these guys be successful.
So if they can work on a little truck, you can teach.
Good morning and welcome to another edition of Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. I tell you what, I told him I was ready, he went right to me. Okay, I know everybody's talking about Philadelphia and the Chiefs and all that. Before I get into further, let me say Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we put God and family first. We are real excited this morning. We got the mayor coming this morning, and we also have Jared Lewis here with us. Calling Miss Lewis' nephew. Hey, I'm excited about this show this morning. We're going to have a good time getting ready for a big event Saturday. But let me say this. Steve, y'all know Steve Kemp over here at the place. He's going to tell me that one call didn't determine the fact of the game. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. That was a bad call at the end of the game. Nevertheless, the pros got it right. I'm sorry the college football people that love it. The pros got it right. You do get two good teams. It wasn't like the blowout in the championship game for college. You had a team there had no business being there. That's my opinion. They had no business being there. But in the pros, you had two teams that really could be there. I don't know what you did yesterday, but I had a lovely time. Had a lovely time all weekend. My mom-in-law came in and my dad-in-law from Athens, Tennessee. And Jared, I showed them some good old hometown cooking. I was cooking one time, they looked out the window, the grill stood up. Cook, cook, cook. And that is Mr. Mike Hammonds and Miss Jerry Hammonds. I just want y'all to know on public TV, it's always a pleasure when y'all come and visit. Y'all have such warm hearts and y'all have been so nice to me. I would have to say the best thing you did for me was giving your daughter. She's good to me. So y'all have a good trip going home. Have a safe trip. Be careful. Hey, we're going to get right on with the show. We're going to get up here and get our guests on. We'll be right back with Truck Talk for Wiley Sanders Truck Line.
Come out to work on a big truck.
Yes, sir, we sure can.
Hey, let's roll with Jared.
Well, we'll teach you how to work on a big truck. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, where we put God and family first. We go to Illinois.
Indiana. North Carolina. South Carolina.
Ohio, Arkansas.
We're looking for good in-dump drivers. That's right, Wiley Sanders Truck Line. 401k, Blue Cross Blue Shield, dental plan. Hey, these wheels roll, you make money. You're not driving one of them, you're driving at the wrong place. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Fellas, where we go?
Indiana. North Carolina and South Carolina.
Ohio and Arkansas.
Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, we put God and family first. Are you looking for a good company? A company that can get you home and you make good money? Then you need to call Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Blue Cross Blue Shield, hey, you know we still had a $1,000 sign-on bonus. We match your 401k up to 4%. We've been in business since 1959. We've been rolling these wheels with money, money, money since 1959. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Tell them, Bo. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, the place that puts God and family first. How long you been driving for Wiley Sanders?
7 years.
How long you been driving for Wiley?
6 years.
How many miles you get away?
2,500.
Wow, how many miles you get away?
2,700.
Are you in the 401k?
Yes, sir.
Matching at 4%.
Yes.
Wow, Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Are y'all happy?
Oh, very happy.
Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Welcome to Wiley Sanders Truck Line's state-of-the-art bunkhouse. Let me show you. Do you like it cold? Then set it cold. Got the spouse with you? We've got you covered. Sit back in the state-of-the-art bunkhouse and watch your favorite TV show. Relax. Have a good time. After a long day, you can come in the state-of-the-art bunkhouse and get a great hot shower. Look how nice they are. At Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, we keep it clean for you. Drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. At Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, we put God and family first. We've been in business since 1959. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Blue Cross Blue Shield, 401k. Woo! We got the trucks. Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Tell them, boy. Some companies may tell you that the grass is greener. At Wiley Sanders, we know the grass is greener. Been in business since 1959. That's not green. It's not green. Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Now this is green grass, this is green money. $1,000 sign-on bonus, Blue Cross Blue Shield. 401k, we match it up to 4%. Get you home regular, good equipment. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We do what we say. Come join the best today. At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we keep it nice and clean. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you.
You're welcome.
Nice and clean.
Nice and shiny.
Are you an experienced driver looking for a good truck driving job? Then try Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. We're looking for team drivers. We're looking for single drivers. At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we have it for you. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Blue.
And we're back with Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Line. I was waiting on the mayor to come. I was going to let him read the scripture. But me and Jerry was talking during the break. And I said, man, I just come up with something that hits right at what you're doing. And the scripture comes from Proverbs 16:3. It says, commit your works to the Lord, and your plans will be established. Man, I know you got some big plans for this weekend. Talked to you a couple of weeks ago, and you was telling me about all the great things you got going on. I know you're excited.
Well, Jeffrey, first of all, thank you for having me on today.
You're welcome.
If there's one thing I don't take for granted, that's people effort and time. So thank you for giving me this opportunity. And yes, it's been a busy week. But in this business, anytime you're busy, that's a good thing. That means you're doing some positive work, and that means you're getting responses from the work that you're putting out there.
Good.
And so with February the 21st is my uncle's birthday.
Your uncle's birthday?
It's my uncle's birthday. He would have been 83 years old. So we're the Legacy Institute. We started this nonprofit in his honor. He left us this platform to do something with. Mm-hmm. So we just kind of took a look in the mirror and said, hey, why not us?
Why not us?
Why not us?
Why not us?
Hey, he had an old saying, Jeffrey. He said, if not us, then who? If not now, then when?
That's pretty good. Say that again, because I want to get that. Everybody needs to hear that.
He said, if not us, then who? If not now, then when? And so that's something that I live by, and we wanted to honor him. So we're having our inaugural gala in Atlanta, Georgia on February the 18th. And the reason we chose the 18th, a Saturday is always more convenient for people. And we wanted people to be able to come and help celebrate his birthday and have a fundraiser so that we can raise money and strengthen our communities. Of course, we know it takes funds to do all of these things. And so we wanted to have this event, and what better way than to have our first honorees than being our mayor of Troy, Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
Mayor Jason Reeves.
And he's a good one. But I want to ask you something. The younger picture, is that him in his younger days?
Yes.
Okay, I figured that, but I don't believe in a dumb question. I believe if you don't know, ask.
Yeah.
This is why I said that. Do you see what time does to us and changes us?
Yes.
Now, I never knew that man,
Yes.
but I knew the man up here, but they was both 2 in 1 man, and I used to look at some of the stuff, And I tell people all the time, Pike County has got so many people that have did so many great things.
It really
come
does.
right from here.
Really does.
Well, we got 2 professional football players that come from here. He had a professional baseball player
Yes.
that come from here. But it's something good about Pike County. They always come back here.
Always come back.
He came back, went to Troy State.
Yeah.
And I didn't know much about that, and I got interested in the story, and I read it, and it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It was so interesting because I kept hearing this and that.
Yeah.
And I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm not one of the men that are ashamed to say this. My wife is notorious, her and her mother both,
Yeah.
of looking stuff up and doing research.
Yeah.
And I kind of like tag along, but I get lazy and say, what happened so and so? I'm trying to get her to do the research. But to any young man, young female, there's research.
Yes.
You can read about this. You can see why it's so important.
So important. Yes.
You know, some people are probably looking at us this morning going,
Yeah.
okay, well.
Exactly. Yeah, research is most definitely important. I was just talking to somebody this morning, Jeffrey, and to think about what those men went through back in the late 50s and 60s, they didn't have a portion of the resources that we have in today's world. So you're talking about a group of men that basically was out on faith.
Yeah.
They was totally out on faith. Hey, there was no social media, was no cell phones. These people was leaving home at the ages of 17, 18 years old, not just for themselves, but for the world.
For the world. Yeah, and you know, you look at that, and if you ain't got nothing else, faith is something good to have.
Faith is something good to have. Hey, you can't live without it.
I look at how far I've came and things I've done, and I did a lot of it on faith. I remember when I first started driving. I didn't know nothing about no truck. I didn't know nothing. But there was a little thing out there that's literature, and now it's obsolete. But as you know, my drivers, they gonna get on me when I say this. But when I get in a driver's truck, or if I'm talking to a driver and he says something about a road atlas, I say that's a good driver.
That's a good driver.
That's a good driver because he don't depend on this. And to hear you say, I tell people all the time, I don't care what you come on Truck Talk and talk about. I can tie it into trucking. But you think those people was leaving home.
Yes.
Going to these various destinations and doing different things, and they just had faith.
They just had faith.
Me and you right now, you drive. We can go anywhere we won't put you in this boat.
Anywhere.
But every now and then, you need that atlas. You got to go back to, and they realized they needed the Lord.
They needed the Lord.
They stayed on that, and that is so great. I'm going to tell you the experience I had this week. Me and Anthony Nice, you know Anthony.
Yes.
We had the pleasure to go to Tuskegee to speak at this technical college over there. They build careers, and I carried my bucket. And I gave them the same presentation that I would give a school for people graduating out.
Yes.
Because I wanted them to see we're not just a trucking company. We got a plastic, KW Recycling, Sanders Fertilizer, Sanders Lake Company. And they were shocked to see all that. And I say, your young minds, we can use, some of them want to be chemists, and they had all kind of dreams. And that's what we got to realize. Your dreams are just as far as you push them back.
As far as you push them back.
They're as close as you pull them.
Yeah.
That's my saying. They're as far as you push them back, and they're as close as you pull them.
And that's the one thing that I love about Wiley Sanders. It's such a family-oriented company. I mean, I can call in daily, and I never have to say, hey, this is Jared on truck 7072. You know, people know your voice. People know your voice, and that means a lot to me, and that means a lot to everybody else. When you can express yourself from just by the sound of your voice, that's a good thing. That's a good company to work for.
I'm gonna brag on you a little bit. You're very humble, and then to the extent you was riding, you was still in a manual, and that thing was old, and we was looking. Scott Maddox, I give him the credit for it. He jumped me. Man, why is Jared riding around in this? And so I said, well, if I'm not mistaken, I said, we've tried to give him another truck. He don't want no truck. He said, we need a better truck. He said, man, I can depend on Jim. If he tell me he's going to be there, he's going to be there. This and that. And I remember I got that truck out, that 70 series, and I got it out, and I had him to clean it. And I basically had to just beg you to take it from me. Because you said, oh, man, I don't know. You kept rubbing you. You said, man, I don't want to do this. And then I made you the overpromise. And there's only one person it ain't worked with. And that's Deborah Jernigan.
Yeah.
Deborah will not. I have to call myself good, but I cannot talk her into it. And I told you my overpromise is this when I say, look, take it for a couple of trips. If you don't like it, we'll give you your truck back. But I ain't gonna let it go no. I ain't gonna let nobody get it there. And most people try. That automatic is a big change, but it wasn't so much the automatic for you. We just wanted you in some new equipment.
Hey, and I appreciate that, but it took me a minute.
It took you a minute, dude.
You know,
you did that because you just felt close with me. You said, man, I'm going to do his pause because look like he's bad. He's gonna buy it.
Hey, you got to remember, I started with Wiley in 2001. And I'll tell you a funny story. My first trip by myself, I trained with my cousin Ben Tyner. You know Ben, Ben Tyner. That's where I trained with. But I'll never forget my first trip by myself was I went to Meridian, Mississippi at Georgia Pacific. Took a load of paper out to Dallas, Texas. And I was coming off of training on a straight 10. I drove a Super 10. I ain't know nothing about Super 10, Jeffrey. I had the slightest idea. They were different. I drove a Super 10 all the way out to Dallas before I realized it was a Super 10. So basically, I was skipping a gear every time I would change out. And I finally got the hang of it on my way back. And once I got the hang of it, I was fine. And I was just so used to driving that standard until it was just hard for me to make that transition. Yeah. But now that I made that transition and I've been driving 23 plus years, I have no intentions of going back. So I know I have no intentions of going back. So I thank you for for thinking enough of me to upgrade my equipment because I have no intentions of going back.
You know, back in the day, trucking was because I like to be careful when I say something about trucking because I never want to discredit it. But when we had the manuals, most of the time we had the straight pipes. Yeah. You know, we could ba. Yeah. But the more the industry grew, the more technology had to step in.
Exactly.
When they started talking about pollution, and you know, we're supposed to put these things on these trucks and a lot of states didn't like those loud pipes because people would go through little towns like Troy and hit that jet brake and wake everybody up. And when it turned to that, and when the generations changed, and the guys, because I'm a little older than you, but the guys younger than you start coming out of school. When they come out of school, you can't hardly hear the truck run. They've been driving automatic, and that's all they know.
That's all they know. Yeah.
You know, and that's what. But on the business side of it, automatics burn less fuel.
Yes.
They. The guy didn't believe me when I told him this, and I don't know what makes this, but there are fewer accidents on automatics than on manuals.
I can most definitely see that.
That was amazing to me.
Well, sometimes a lot of people don't realize when you're driving a standard, you have to do a lot of more thinking.
Yeah.
You have to do a little bit more thinking, you know, and everybody don't know how to downshift and, you know, come to a stop on a dime with the
taking off on the hill and running back and bump a car. I like minor accidents, don't I? But let me ask you this. You know I love a car. I go 200-300 miles to look at a car. This business going to be at the Porsche place. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Tell us a little outline on that, man.
It's going to be at the Porsche Experience. It's on the south side of Atlanta. And one of the reasons that we chose the Porsche Experience was for the setting.
Yeah.
I mean, Porsche. When you think of Porsche,
look at that, man. Look at that.
Yeah, exactly. and to have that outlook of us celebrating a man like Congressman John Lewis, what better place to have it than the Porsche experience? I mean, it's gonna be a phenomenal night. It's something that we put a lot of work into. And what better way than to bridge the gap of Atlanta and Troy than honoring my mayor, a man that I've known my entire life, a man whose family has had an impact on my life since kindergarten. Mayor Reeves' mother was my first grade teacher.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
my
wow.
first grade teacher. Our kids played baseball together. Of course, I've had the luxury of working with him for many, many years, and he's just simply a great man. He's a man of faith, and he lives it. He don't just talk it, he lives it. So that was one of the main reasons that the first person came to mind when we wanted to honor someone from Troy, Alabama. It was Mayor Reeves.
I could see that. I could see that. You know, I've had to reach out to him on things, and I'm notorious. That's one thing I said I was going to get better in 2023. If you heard me and Justin and them talking, I know he's sitting back there thinking, man, Hoss know that he going to do something on the 25th today? He's probably thinking, wow, because I'm bad to call Wednesday, and when we need to be, that's Friday. You know, and I just said I was just going to be better at that. And the mayor has put up with that with me. I need him to come to an event, and I'll tell him 2 days out. One day, I'll never forget it, when the radio station came to Troy, the big KD, and you know how you're so busy, you're so excited, and thank the Sanders Company for the radio station. They let the big KD get on the tower at the body shop.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
That, I talked to Mr. Sanders, and he did that is to give something to the community.
Yes.
You know, the big KD does not pay for that. That is a luxury provided by them. And people don't know little stuff like that. Exactly. And that's never had nothing to say about it, never. It's just been a great relationship, which the KDs did everything they said they would do when they come to work on stuff. They come during the open hours of the body shop. If they need to come after hours, they get in contact with me. You know, you can get people to do what they're supposed to do when you do what you're supposed to.
Yes, exactly.
When everybody does what they're supposed to, there's no problem. So
the world is such a better place when people do that.
And so I remember when we had that, we had the big cooking at Julia's. I want to thank Julia's Restaurant. They furnished 100 hot dogs, and Darrell Lee, he furnished 100 hot dogs. So we had 200 hot dogs, and we had all these kids out there. We had one of our trucks backed, and then I had T-shirts, and it was the main thing. Well, that morning, I thought, man, I need to have the mayor here. I thought it by going by and seeing his truck parked at Sanders.
Yeah.
And I called him. Now, you know, this is the day of the event. That's when I knew. I always do, but that's when that confirmed me. This is the man. This is the man. And I called him and I asked him would he come by. And he said, man, he said, I had some prior engagements. He said, but if you could just, you know, let me come in and speak to everybody and go on, I would go, I'll do it.
Yeah. And
I told him, I said, when you get there, you're next.
You're next.
You're next. And I'm going to show you how the man upstairs work. I was talking, it was doing a break, you know, live remote, it was doing a break. And he drove up. We didn't have to make a special break for him. Now, I happened to see him out the corner. We got him up there. He said a few words, thanked the community coming out, left, got in his car, and went on his event. And I thought, man, that was good of him.
Hey,
because they didn't tell him where he was going or what he had planned.
You know, they always say, Jeffrey, they always say God work in mysterious ways.
Mysterious ways.
And that is a true statement. But Mayor Reeves, I mean, to just piggyback off what you said, he's the same person every time I see him. If he's having a bad day, you'll never know it.
You won't know it.
You won't know it. And he's just that guy that I'll run through a brick wall for.
And you know, when we have a storm or something here, he gets out.
Yes. He's
get
in
up
the
out of his
community.
bed.
Yes.
You see that the Suburban come down.
Yeah.
He got one of them hats like I got. Y'all know stuff. I should say that I got one of them hats like he got because he ain't here first. But he'll have a hat on, boy,
Yeah.
a raincoat.
And he'll be out there.
People look at what you do in a time of need.
Yes.
When you come. And you know yourself, because it's going to make a difference in my weekend to come there and to, you got to make a choice.
Yes.
You got to come and get a room, or you got to come and get back super late. We all go to different places. Some go to church, some like me, I go to the hall. So what we'll do is just you make provisions for something that's important.
Yes,
that you want to do, and that's what he does. I bet when that man lay down at night, he just
he's crass. He works hard. He really does work hard.
And you work hard. And I know when we gave the bicycles away, the book bags. When Anthony Knight them did the book bags, you brought your organization down.
Yes.
Y'all came down. Y'all bought a bunch of book bags.
Yes. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's about supporting different organizations, and Let's Talk About It has been very, very instrumental in my daily positive activities.
Yeah.
I talk to those guys a lot, and we support each other, just as they support me, and I'm always in their corner at all times. And whatever I can do to strengthen the communities, I'm 100% behind that.
Those guys are about to get a set. They're going to be over there doing some things, and it's going to be nice.
Hey, well, Jeffrey, when you do positive things, you get positive results.
Yeah, those guys, they told me, and I'm not trying to give myself no kudos, but advertising is just what it is.
Yes.
Those guys told me that they had never got over 20 book bags. And they come to me and ask me to help them. And I just set a number in my head. But the reason I can set that number in my head, as I set that number in my head, just like you said, supporters, I knew I had some people that I could go.
Yes.
And they was going to tell me what. And I'm going to tell you something. That Terry McPherson,
Yes.
used to be the maintenance director.
I know Terry.
Man, Terry, he goes to these storms and he cuts up trees and he put a lot of money in it.
Yes.
He put a lot of money in it and he does it particularly free. There he is.
He is.
We're going to take a commercial break and we're going to be right back with Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Line.
What's up, man?
Cross Blue Shield, 401k, drive for the best. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we know one thing, drivers first. You're not just a number, we know your name. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, family owned, Troy, Alabama, Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Come drive for the best today. We got Blue Cross Blue Shield. Hey, we can get you home. Wiley Sanders Truck Line been rolling these wheels since 1959. Money, 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 just rolling these wheels. If these wheels roll, you make money. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we put God and family first. Bo, tell them. Hey, what are you doing?
I'm working underneath this truck.
Oh man, can you work on diesel trucks?
No, I can't.
Do you know that Wiley Sanders will train you to work on diesel trucks?
Really?
In a shop.
In a shop?
A shop. My man, you made it.
Yes, sir, I did.
You came to Wiley Sanders to a shop. How you like teaching this young man?
I enjoy helping these guys be successful.
So if they can work on a little truck, you can teach them how to work on a big truck.
Yes, sir, we sure can.
Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Line where we'll teach you how to work on a big truck. Wiley Sanders Truck Line where we put God and family first. We go to
Good morning, and you're back with Truck Talk, and our other guest has arrived, and he's going to be your guest, Sonny.
Yes, yes.
Tell me how you come to pick this man. You've told me one time, but tell him why he's sitting here.
Well, like I told you earlier, Jeffrey, he's a man that has had an imprint on my life since day one. We're from the same area out in rural Pike County.
Okay.
His mom was my first grade teacher, and that's something I'm very proud of. You know, she was so impactful on my life. You know, to deal with a little knucklehead like me at a young age, that wasn't an easy task. And even when I see her now, she still gives me that feeling of support. You know, she still knows who I am, and that's important to me. For a woman to pour in her time and efforts into me is something that I don't.
She's a real teacher.
She's a real teacher, and she didn't just teach me at that moment. I mean, later on in life, she would still educate me on things, just being a better person.
Yeah.
So she had a huge impact in my life.
That's nice. So you picked her son.
Yes, I picked her son. Mary Reeves has been so supportive of everything that we have ever done. He's always been a huge advocate for my uncle. Any events that we have had, he has always been there, and is pure.
Yeah.
That's the thing about it. He's a pure man. He's very authentic in his approach, and he makes the people around him being better. So it was one of those situations. Wasn't even second guessing.
Well, that's something. Well, what did that phone call do to you, man? How did you feel when he called and asked you that? I mean, it's got to be heartwarming.
Well, I remember where we lived, you didn't get very many channels on TV. You got WSFA and WTVY, and you get WDIQ out of Dozier, the PBS station. And I would watch Sesame Street, and I would watch Morgan Freeman was on this show called The Electric Company, and it was on right after that, and I would watch those shows. But anyway, one of the things they do on Sesame Street was they had this little thing that said, one of these things is not like the other, one of these things just don't belong. That's how I felt when I saw those names and saw my name, because his Grant had a huge impact on my life. He was my ball coach, and when you're a 10, 12, 14, 16-year-old knucklehead, and I've got great parents, and they, but you don't want to always listen to what your parents say. And Grant was just an incredible example, because it wasn't necessarily what he said all the time, but it's the example that he set. And a lot of people will talk, but their actions won't line up with what's coming out. And
that's a good one.
And so anyway, and I just, I think that, for our country, the Declaration of Independence is a beautiful document.
Yes.
But until John Lewis did what he did, didn't apply to everybody. And it's not a beautiful document until it applies to everybody. And so, and the fact that he came from, and some things I didn't even realize. I got a lot of, when I spoke at the memorial service in Troy, I just talked. And one of the things that I noticed the state troopers, bringing his body out. And then the fact that, that he had, come to real national attention, even after the March on Washington and all that, from the state troopers attacking him at the Edmund Pettus Bridge. And I made that connection in that, and I heard from people all over the world about that, and people ended up, but it was just what I saw and felt, and it just came out.
It just came out.
And, but anyway, in the process of that, I heard, I started to hear even more stories of how our families went back. My great-grandfather had a store out in the country on 223, and one of the oldest, she just passed away, one of the oldest cousins of the generation right below, his oldest granddaughter, had heard the story of Grant and Robert's dad not being able to go into the stores in Troy and buy shoes, that he had an unusually wide foot or something, and it was hard for him to get shoes, and he couldn't go in the stores in Troy. And so my great-grandfather would order him shoes and let him, come in his store. And anyway, so, I think I said it, when my dad got out of the Army, we had a couple of chicken houses and a hog farm and a little trailer right on this little dirt road that comes out on 223, and if you follow that dirt road, it comes up right next to their home place.
Okay.
So, we just, that.
There's a connection there.
Grew up in northeast Pike County, and, Jarek's older brother Darius and I we were the same age and played ball together growing up, and that's, and got to spend a lot of time, and, I got to watch him grow up. He run around, he played cup ball games at the ballpark and run around, and, but my mom was his teacher and Hydrika's teacher, and, anyway, so I'm so honored. I certainly don't feel worthy, but I feel very honored, and if there's anything that Grant, Jarita, Jarek, Darius, Hydrika, it wouldn't matter if they called me at 2:00 in the morning, I'd be there. That's just, it's just how I feel, and so.
You know what I hope don't happen to you, man? All the people, because I know you just named them, and you can't name all the people that have called you, if they called you at 3:00 in the morning, that you would come. I just hope that all of them don't ever call you at one time, because I don't want you to have to go. I'm thinking of, you talked about the speech you did there at the school, and I went back and watched it. So Sunday we was going to have this show, and I want to tell you this. When we get at dinner to Petway, man lost half his foot, diabetic, I'm not going to go into the story and take away from what we're doing. But when he walked out there, the whole atmosphere changed, and that guy James just looked up, and the first thing he said, "You told me you was coming." And he just looked at him, "Why are you surprised? I would miss this for the world." Yeah. And it was the same feeling you said when the whole atmosphere changed.
The whole atmosphere changed.
That's not you, and those words that come out, that's not you. But you got a little whisper, and he whispers in your ear. Not only that, he touches your heart.
Yeah. Exactly.
What's in a man to come out.
Yeah.
Will come out. So don't discredit yourself. You right where you supposed to be. Your name should be right there on that list, because I was telling Jared before you got here, when the radio station, Mr. Sanders let us put the towel out there. And I remember I called you day of, and you told me, you was like, man, I got some other obligations, but I'm going straight. He was coming right by. He said, I'm coming straight by there. If you could just get me up quickly. And I told you, when you drove up, we was doing a live break. That just don't happen. It was so, I just looked and I saw him. I said, now we go, it looked like we had it timed, but that was just a live break that we was going to do. I had made up my mind whenever he showed up, we was going to do another live break.
Exactly.
And we appreciate what you do and appreciate you guys coming here to let me host something with such a big platform of what y'all finna do. I can go back to when we was offered this hour. We was over there with Mike Amos, and we was offered this hour. And Derek Thompson, he said, I asked him first, he said, what are we gonna do with an hour? I said, we're just going to do a rundown on Monday. We're going to do anything this community needs, and anything positive, we're going to have it, and we're going to do nothing negative. Kelly is big in the community, giving stuff and doing stuff. And we've been blessed here because we've kept the same thing.
Yeah, positivity.
Positive. If it's not positive, I don't do it. If you call me and you want to discuss what it, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that. If you don't say something good, you don't talk about, one of the biggest things that I get my joy out of is when we go to the nutrition center, and those people over there love you because they say you was the reason they're over there and kept that program going. Those old ladies get so excited.
It wasn't me now. It was I had a great aunt. One of the, she was one of the children of the same man I was talking about that had the store. She was the second oldest, and she didn't have any kids. And she lived on 3 Knott Street, not very far from, right across from where Jose Henderson's house was. It burned down. And her name was Evelyn Harville, and she would go, when they had it at Dunbar, she would go and they would have, they'd do spelling bees to keep their mind fresh. They'd feed them a good meal, that interaction with her. And I remember when the director at that time, the place was getting broke into. And the lady told me, she said, they even broke in and stole our pepper sauce. And I said, well, let me see if I can, and then we got a new location. And then we were able to build the brand new building, and so, I just got a little peek into what it meant, because you get to a certain age, and especially if you don't live near your children or you don't have, you need that fellowship, you need that, that time together, and that's just a great opportunity to do that, and so I just. Thank God for her that I knew there was a need, and there were a lot of people that, listen, I have a lot of help. You're as good
as the people around you.
Yes.
And, so I just, I deserve more of the blame and less of the credit.
So what is your biggest excitement for Saturday? I know it's just a special part and that it really stands out to you.
My biggest excitement for Saturday is to see people just simply together for a good cause. So many times in this world we're presented with situations where we have to come together on sad occasions. But February the 18th, this is different. To see people united up under one roof together, that's something that he fought for. And that's something that a lot of times we take for granted. I was speaking to the university football students a few weeks ago, and I told them, you see the pregame meals, you see the football teams having pregame meals, and I say, hey, we haven't always been able to have that opportunity.
Okay.
So you can't take things like that for granted. So for us to be able, in 2023 to be together and have men as my uncle and other foot soldiers of the civil rights movement. That's what they fought for. So that's what it's all about. And that's why we're honoring him, and that's why we're honoring men like my mayor, Mayor Reeves.
That's right. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Man, if I get me one of them push-ups, are you going to back me? And then if you raise your hand, they'll let me leave with it because they know I ain't got a back. If you raise your hand, they'll say, let him go.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's going to be a great day. I'm excited about it, and it's positive. It's like I say, and
Almost there.
yeah, that's what the world needs to lean on is positivity. I knew a long time ago, as a young child, I knew helping people was something that always felt good to me. I didn't know how that was going to come to me as an adult. Little did I know it was going to come to me, on the hands of my uncle, and it feels good. It's something that I'm very proud of, and it's something that we plan to continue to do, and just give the next generation something to look forward to.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
That's nice. Well, I'm just looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to hearing what everybody's got to say. But I'm from Pike County, quite naturally. I'm looking forward to my mayor saying what he gonna say, because I know he gonna speak from his heart.
Yeah.
Hey,
he always do.
He gonna speak from his heart, and that's good. And Mayor, you quit selling yourself short. I remember back. See, I can tell him. I remember back when he was getting ready to do this, and he would tell me. And for a couple of years, he didn't go, but he kept telling me, he said, I'm going to go. He said, I'm going to go for it. I said, well, you're going to get it.
You're going to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you talk about Pike County, and I say this, when I go to a school, I don't just sell Sanders Truck Line. I'm there to sell my community.
Yes.
I brag on that I got people like your organization that'll get out and get 250 book bags, because that's what we wind up with.
Yes.
People like the mayor that will come to the event and say, hey, sometimes when you say something good, and all I said was, I got my book bag.
Yes.
We just took, everybody just started saying they got our book bag. Well, I sell this community, good restaurants, good schools.
Yes.
Good law enforcement.
Yes.
We got one of the finest police and sheriff department it is.
You got that right, Jerry.
We got a sheriff that's been there forever. We got a mayor that's been there forever. We got a good chief of police. People that you can talk to.
I tell you what, I've been driving trucks for 23 years, ever since I was 21 years old. And I've ran New York City dedicated. I've been all around this America. But there's no favorite trip when you coming down 231, getting back into Pike County, Alabama.
Back in the Pike County.
He's told me that before, and
it's something about that trip. It's a different feeling, and like the old saying goes, there's no place like home. And I am proud to say Pike County is my home, and I'm proud to say Mayor Reeves is my mayor.
And I'm going to let you know this, because I tell everybody this, and I want you to spread it to the drivers. We are here as a service.
Yes.
This is not my show. This is Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Truck Talk with us, and that means the driver.
Yes.
That is the heartbeat of this company. And I don't say it to get points. I don't got to the age now, I don't need no points. I can drift a little. But Trace Parker has set off a aroma.
Yes.
I remember yesterday the talk was, the guy got up and he said, what's that smell? I smell something. What aroma are you putting off?
Yes.
What's your smell?
Yes.
And here we have a smell. If your child make A's and B's, send it to Justin. Let's show it up on there.
Yes.
If you take a picture of the kid running and it's just a good family picture and you want to show it, you want to share. That's what this platform is for. But somebody like you, Anthony Knight, Adrian McBride, anybody that's doing something positive, all they got to do is call.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, my phone, I'm blessed. The company pays for it, but it goes with me.
It goes with
you. If you call me, And I respect people by that. And once again, if I call him there, if I don't get him, I need to hold on to my phone because he's going to get back to me.
Yes.
He's going to get back to me. It may be an hour or two. It may be late. Yeah. And the first thing he's going to say, man, I'm sorry. And I understand. I try not to call him. I mostly say text him and say, call me when you can. You know, respecting his schedule. And I want to tell you, man, y'all keep y'all heads up. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing. Keep this man together. Y'all stay together. Together we can do anything.
Yeah,
We're
together.
stronger together.
Yeah, that's such
if
a
all
true
three of
statement.
us try to pick this platform up, we could.
We can move it.
Neither one of us could do it by itself.
Yeah.
And y'all may have to get somebody to put in my place. I ain't
Well, Jeff, you said it right. I mean, together we're such a better force together. And if we would take that motto, this world would be such a better place. On the road, sometimes I always say, are you the person that's going somebody break down in the road? Are you the person blowing the horn to get them out of the way? Or are you going to be the person to stop and help assist them? So many times I've seen people break down on the road and see people blowing the horn and saying choice words to them. And I made a choice that I wanted to be the person to pull over and help assist them out of harm's way. And that's the thing about this world. We all have choices, and you have a choice to either do the wrong thing or the right thing. I want to be on the right side of things.
Well, that just confirms what I told him. I was telling him there before you got here. I went to Tuskegee last week, technical institute where they just teach kids, getting them ready for college. And the lady had been begging me to come over there, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to go. And I talked to Doug about it. I said, we won't get a drive. All these guys are 18 and 19. And I opened up with that. What's your choice? You can make a choice. Because you can make a choice that will affect your life for the next 20 years or bad just in that second.
Yes.
But if you keep doing right and you keep praying,
yes,
you can do anything you want to do. That's what I told those people. I showed them the plastic and what we could make and what we could do, and I felt good about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And Anthony tonight, I want to give him his kudos.
Yes.
He come by there on a truck and he bought a trailer. Some of them kids had never seen a truck, and they were so excited. And Anthony, he's man, when I talk about Anthony, my heart gets full. I've never seen a man. We all got kids.
Yes.
So we know if we help somebody what we get.
Yes.
He doesn't have kids.
No.
But he will work for kids 24/7. And that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
So
and Jeffrey, just like going over there, you got to do things not expecting anything in return.
That's right.
Yes.
If you're doing something because you're getting something out of it,
Yeah.
then that's not what it's about.
Whatever that
And
is.
people can see it. They can smell it.
Yes.
They can. I mean, but the bottom line is, that's it. I mean, people can tell if you're, it's one of the reasons that when I do a talk, I usually just try to talk because, people can smell that stuff coming a mile away. If it's just got to come, from
the heart.
It's got to come from a place of, this is the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't work out. It's not that's not my job is to do the right thing when I can. And everybody wants us to be mad at each other. Everybody wants everybody fussing and fighting and that's they take one thing. Nobody in this world, whether it's at church, it's in your family, it's anywhere, nobody's going to agree 100% on everything.
We just can't do it.
Can't do it.
But because we're human beings. But what happens is, instead of taking the 99, instead of taking the things that bring us together and being together, you got people out there focusing on whatever they can
Yes.
to you know, and you know, there's Abraham Lincoln made a speech in 1839. So 1839, over 22 years before the Civil War. And it was, and basically what he said was, there was one quote in there. It said, where should we expect the approach of danger? Shall some transatlantic giant step the earth and crush us at a blow? You know, will the armies of Europe or Asia or Africa, you know, make a track on the Blue Ridge or take a drink from the Ohio River? And he said, never, not in the trial of 1,000 years. If destruction be our lot, we ourselves must be its author and finisher. As a nation of free men, we'll live forever. Or die by suicide. And that's what we've got to remember.
Yes.
The problems are not all over the world around us. You know, America will be here 1,000 years from now if we're together.
Yes, that's true.
That is great.
So anyway.
That is great.
Hey, I always say, Jeffrey, one motto I like to live by, no matter what the problem is, love is always the answer.
Yeah. I had a DJ that I had the pleasure of working with. He's passed away now. And we all have sins when we leave. And I tell people a lot of time, I want to take that one so bad because I know he's passed.
Yeah.
And I use, if you can't say nothing nice about someone, then just don't say nothing
at all.
because that works. But he used to say, no matter what the question is, love is the answer.
Yeah.
And you know he was gone.
Yeah.
And he was talking about people destructing and wanting to be bad. The late, great Mr. Wiley Sanders told me, and all those country boys, he said, if a pile of it is in the pasture, he said, you can ride that pasture all day and never smell it. But if you stir in it, and that's what people try to do, they try to stir it.
Yeah.
And make that bad aroma come out.
Yeah,
Make it come
exactly.
out. Because they keep poking you and doing to you. And I'm going to leave this with y'all. Well, you be up here with two great men, you have to fall back on what never fails. That's that Bible.
That's that Bible, yeah.
If we stay with that. Man has tried to turn it around, twist it, kill it up. But I always tell people, look at Babylon. He quoted that there will never be nothing else there. Here he is in 23. There's nothing in Babylon.
Yeah.
There's nothing there. They can't build nothing there. It won't happen. That book, I told that class, I said, whatever you do, just read something every day out of this book. It's going to prove to be right. It's now. It's still right to this day.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love you guys. I love having you on here. We got to go. Mayor, I always let you close out. I'm going to let both of you. I'm going to go with you, and I'm going to just say bye. Close us out, man.
Well, I just say, you know, what y'all said right there at the end about love. You know, Peter said, you know, love covers a multitude of sins. We're all sinful, but if we love one another, we can overcome that. And that's what we've got to do.
Jim?
Yes. Well, you know, to piggyback what we said earlier, just being together, that means a lot. We're stronger in numbers if we're together. What we're trying to accomplish in this world is a lot easier if we're all on the same page. Everybody's going to have their differences. But at the end of the day, I still love everybody. And that's the way I'm going to continue to live. Love is going to be a part of my daily activities from now and here on out. And I thank you, Jeffrey, for having me on today. I'm pretty sure my uncle is looking down, smiling right now. You know, he's a good man. Pike County meant a lot to him. And, you know, thanks for having me on today.
And when we deal with our fellow brothers, we must remember that Jesus died for us, and he gave up his perfect life for us imperfect.
Yes.
We're all imperfect. We're going to make mistakes.
Yes.
That's why he came down.
Yes.
Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. This has been Truck Talk. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. I had to say 4 goodbyes. I caught him off guard.
North Carolina, South Carolina.
Ohio, Arkansas.
We're looking for good in-dump drivers. That's right, Wiley Sanders Truck Line. 401k, Blue Cross Blue Shield, dental plan. Hey, these wheels roll, you make money. You're not driving one of them, you're driving at the wrong place. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Fellas, where we go?
Indiana, North Carolina, and South Carolina.
Ohio and Arkansas.
Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, we put God and family first. Are you looking for a good company? A company can get you home and you make good money? Then you need to call Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Blue Cross Blue Shield, hey, you know we still had a $1,000 sign-on bonus. We match your 401k up to 4%. We've been in business since 1959. We've been rolling these wheels with money, money, money since 1959. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Tell them, Bo. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, the place that puts God and family first. How long you been driving for Wiley Sanders?
7 years.
How long you been driving for Wiley?
6 years.
How many miles you get away?
2,500.
Wow, how many miles you get away?
2,700.
Are you in the 401k?
Yes, sir.
Matching at 4%.
Yes.
Wow, Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Are y'all happy?
Oh, very happy.
Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Welcome to Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, state-of-the-art bunkhouse. Let me show you. Do you like it cold? Then set it cold. Got the spouse with you? We've got you covered. Sit back in the state-of-the-art bunkhouse and watch your favorite TV show. Relax, have a good time. After a long day, you can come in the state-of-the-art bunkhouse and get a great hot shower. Look how nice they are. At Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, we keep it clean for you. Drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. At Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, we put God and family first. We've been in business since 1959. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Blue Cross Blue Shield, 401k. Woo! We got the trucks. Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Tell them, boy. Some companies may tell you that the grass is greener. At Wiley Sanders, we know the grass is greener. Been in business since 1959. That's not green. It's not green. Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Now, this is green grass. This is green money. $1,000 sign-on bonus. Blue Cross Blue Shield. 401k. We match it up to 4%. Get you home regular. Good equipment. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We do what we say.